the wrong area, isn't it? If it's under that much danger, move.
As ever, thanks very much indeed for all of your emails, podcast@rickygervais.com. It's lovely to hear your feedback. Many of them obviously responding to the inanity that Carl has spouted over the various shows. And a lot of people just want your opinion on things. They just throw things at you. They just want to know what you make of them.
Right.
For instance, are you familiar with multiple dimensions? The idea of multiple dimensions?
Go on.
Well, you know, there are theories which state that we are just in one of an infinite number of dimensions. And in all of those other dimensions, every possible variation that you could imagine exists. So there is a Carl in one of those other dimensions that's both man and woman. There is a Carl that's got hair. There is a Carl that's got a penis growing out of his face. There is every conceivable Carl. And this is a scientific theory, not science fiction. It's a scientific theory.
Is it a planet?
No, it's a multiple dimension. It's another dimension that exists in parallel with the dimension we are living in now. So we're living in our dimension, and right next to us, intangible, unable to communicate with it or touch it or interact with it.
So I'm
there are
still
multiple
doing
dimensions.
what I'm doing now, but I'd be sat here with a knob on my head.
Exactly.
Exactly the same life.
Exactly the same life, but with the knob on the head. Now, because there's an infinite number of dimensions, there's another one where you're not doing this. You're sat there with a knob on your head, but you're talking French.
Why is this happening?
There is one, Carl, and this is a fact, that you're talking French with a knob in your mouth.
Exactly. And no one can make his head or tail of what you're saying.
No, because it's pidgin French anyway.
Exactly.
But who came up with this?
Well, it's because there are phenomenons that happen at the subatomic level that people are explaining as being that, for instance, atoms or very, very small molecules are disappearing and reappearing. And people are saying...
The fact that we're trying to dissect this theory, and you said very, very small molecules.
Well, yeah, okay. Atoms, neutrons...
And is there anything that we look at on this planet that we go, that's weird, but it would fit in normal in another dimension? It's just so happens...
I think
no, but say like the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Was he alright, but he was just in the wrong dimension?
I love that.
Well, it's an interesting thought. I mean, of course, there is one dimension that where you are the ruler of the world and everyone thinks you are a genius.
Yeah.
I'd hate that, though. I just don't understand why we're worrying about this, though.
No, nor do I.
Well, we're not worrying about it.
Well, they are, because scientists and that sat in a room somewhere going, what's going on? What's happening in the other dimension? But we can't get to it, can we? So that's why I don't worry about it.
I agree with Carl. It's largely pointless. It's academic. It's like when a person does philosophy, and the first lecture he ever goes to, he comes out and he goes in the student union, he goes up to someone who's doing English or science and goes, "Oh, you right, mate? That table's not there." They go, "What?" They go, "The table's not there." He goes, "What? How do you notice?" They go, "What? What are you talking about? The table's not there." They go, "Isn't it there? Can you feel that? Is it there or not?" And his beret falls off.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's not a big chat up line as well when you've got a little bit of philosophy and you try to spout off. Because of course I told you before, haven't I, when I was doing a school play and there was a girl, I was trying to crack onto her, but I was going through my sort of, fifth form phase of sort of reading Catcher in the Rye and all the rest of it, rebelling against the system, and I thought, well, she's gonna find me appealing if she realises how smart I am. So
Can I just ask you one thing?
Yeah.
Is this before or after the phase when you thought a bow tie would sort you out?
This was before the bow tie phase. Yeah. There was a phase, I should say, for new listeners, where I, for about 6 months, wore a bow tie because I thought it made me look sort of like I was from a Jeeves and Wooster book. And I thought that was very urbane and sophisticated. But, we were doing the school play, and there was one point where everyone was hanging out in one of the rooms, music rooms, getting changed, joking, laughing, cracking onto each other, right? I was sat in the room next door, empty room, on my own, right? Reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, the sort of kind of, populist philosophy book from the 70s. Just sat reading that in the hope that she would walk in the room, see me, think, my God, he's obviously wise, and presumably, get off with me. Must have sat there for about an hour and a half before anyone came in. And she came in eventually, And I thought, ding dong, this is it. She came in and said, have you seen Martin Wells? I said, I think he might be next door. She disappeared again. I gave her another 15 minutes on the hope that she'd come back. She didn't. I went in the next room. She was getting off with Martin Wells.
Oh, no.
Because he'd been dancing around with no trousers on. So, all I'll say is, there's a valuable lesson learned. I think this was the same girl. I was at a party once, and I was with this girl, I was trying to impress her, and someone lit some joss sticks. Just gonna give it a kind of hippie vibe, right? And I didn't know what joss sticks were. I thought they were some kind of drug, like cannabis. So these joss sticks are like, and I started going, because I thought we were all supposed to be getting high on these joss sticks. I started going, whoa. Oh man, these joss sticks they're really doing me in, man. And everyone said, what do you mean? I went, oh, they're good stuff. This is good shit. And they said, what do you mean, joss sticks? They're not drugs, they're just an incense. And I went, yeah, I know. I'm just saying they smell great, is what I'm saying.
Meanwhile, Martin Wells on the table, trousers down, everyone just throwing in money.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. I don't know if it was, there was another party where I don't think it was the same girl, but there's inevitably a girl there that I'm trying to, impress. And I went up to, it was a house party in someone's house, so I didn't know anyone there really. I was only
Steve, you come without trousers. Well, it worked for bloody Martin Wells.
And I went up to the toilet, and I had to do, number twos.
Brilliant.
And I did them. There was no toilet paper. At the party. And I was like, I was scrabbling around in this bathroom thinking, what can I use? There was nothing. And I was thinking, oh God, what can I do? And, as I recall in the end, I couldn't make anyone hear. I didn't want to sort of go out into the hall and stuff. So I had to shout out the window into the garden where everyone was.
No!
Yeah. And someone had to come and bring me some. And, once again, it didn't... Well, I wish I'd fucking had Zen in the Iron Mocha techniques, then I could have ripped some fucking pages out and wiped my arse.
Oh, chimpanzee that. He's gone and written it down again.
That's the ever-changing jingle for Carl's diary, excerpts of which we like to read each week. Suzanne said today can be my day because she has been a bit of a pain with her illness and that. So she said I can do what I want today. We went for a walk around Green Park. Loads of tourists were about looking at the Queen's house. She was in because the flag was up. I wouldn't want to live there. Why wouldn't you want to live there? Just because it's right in the centre of town?
It's just not in a good place, is it? It's got a roundabout outside and that.
Really busy.
It's pretty good.
I went for a pee in the toilets. When I came out, a pigeon had shat on Suzanne's coat. She was in a bit of a mood about it. A bird shat on my ear once. I left it for about 10 to 15 minutes until I got home. I washed it off, and in that 10 to 15 minutes, it had corroded me ear.
He's had a lot of problem with ears. He told me the other day, he got up, washed, had a bath, had some breakfast, went to the shops to get a newspaper and had a chat with a woman in the corner shop, got home, pottering around, looked in the mirror, he had a cotton bud sticking out of his ear. He went, what annoyed me was she didn't say anything. Like it's her responsibility.
Yeah.
No, but she knows me well enough to sort of, go, you got a cotton bud in your ear.
No, she knows you well enough to go, Carl's got a cotton bud in his ear. I've seen worse. When you've got a cotton bud in your ear, what interrupted
I think Suzanne called or my dad called or something, and then because I was running a little bit late because I'd been talking to them, the earbud was in, I just popped my coat on and went to the shop.
Carl, you got a toothbrush in your mouth. Oh.
Walked through Covent Garden. There were 5 of them mimes knocking about. I don't understand why people take pictures of mimes. Everyone looks like a mime in a picture.
That's so true. That's really true. If the point is they're staying still, if that's their skill, a picture won't tell that story. That's absolutely true.
My dad took the cat to be put down today because it kept bumping into things since losing its sight. My mum said she's not going to get another one. She said the parrot is looking worried as it's seen the budgie and the cat go in the space of 3 months.
Your mum said the parrot's looking worried. What happened to the cat then?
it gets into a lot of fights. It lost one eye, and then it got into another fight and lost another.
Oh,
and it was just walking around bumping into stuff. The vet sort of said, "Oh, we can do stuff to keep it alive and all that," but it's a bit out of order, isn't it? Because it costs a fortune. They shouldn't tell you.
But
Mum and Dad can't afford to have eyes put on it and stuff.
no, you can't have eyes put on a cat anyway.
No, but they said, "Oh, we can do something here. We can have its eyes sorted out."
But I don't think you should be allowed cats.
Why?
Not the Pilkington family.
Why not? Well,
They
they have
keep
good
dying.
lives. Yeah, I know, but they have good lives whilst they're still knocking about. It's just that we get through them.
It's a good job you're not going to have kids.
Oh, God almighty. I can't believe it. The cat that kept throwing up. So his mum shaved it. Unbelievable. Dry wipe cat.
A mate sent me a story on email about a bloke in China who has this weird illness that means he can't have his picture taken. That's not the weird bit. If he tries, his body doesn't appear in the photo.
Don't talk shit.
He has had group pictures taken and everyone appeared apart from him.
Don't talk shit.
The
That's
story
bollocks.
had a picture next to it of a family photo and it said he was stood at the back, but you couldn't see him.
Right, he wasn't in the picture.
He was in the picture.
No, he wasn't in the picture.
We've done loads of tests and stuff.
No,
on him.
I haven't done loads of tests. This is bollocks. There's no way this is scientifically possible. What's his want? Yeah, now he's wanted. Just a white bit of paper up on the police wall. Have you seen this man? What man? If you see him, tell us. You're talking shit.
Suzanne watched the film You've Got Mail tonight for about the 14th time. I don't think you could properly fancy someone without seeing them, unless you're blind. I think it's odd when blind people have affairs. Why is that odd?
Just because most stuff is based on looks, isn't it? So you think once they've found someone, they're happy with them. Stick with them.
But no,